What's going on, guys? I am honestly so surprised that that my Facebook group even still exists for me to be able to do. What the fuck is happening with this piece of hair? I got like a quail thing that keeps on happening. Happy New Year, Moirin. Yeah, I'm shocked that the Facebook group still. I'm only in the left speaker. Oh, that sucks ass. There's been like some weird shit going on with the microphone. Alright. I was trying to use the Rode mic that I have, but there's like some weird shit where it's like only coming in the left speaker. I don't know what that's about. Alright, let me switch to the fucking Yeti again, I guess. Alright, better? Better? Thanks for the sub, Daigo Jetlag. Yeah, I'm fucking I forgot I was having a problem with, like, the Rode mic, like, being, only in one speaker, really. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I'm surprised the Facebook group even still exists, because pretty much every single day, I wake up with a notification on Facebook that says, let me see what the notification says. I'm sure I have, like, at least one of them right now. Alright, I can't find it, but basically, what happens on Facebook is, if you have a Facebook group, and yeah, there is a Facebook group, it's connected to the Whang page that I have on Facebook, but basically, there's like, you'll have, like, if the group has a certain amount of community strikes, or it's weird, like, if Facebook, basically, if Facebook mods remove a post from a Facebook group, you get a warning that says if this keeps on happening, the group's gonna get deleted. And this, I literally wake up to one of these almost every single day, because I don't like to have a lot of rules in the things that belong to me. Because I feel like if I have something that has a lot of rules, it kind of goes contrary to the kind of shit that I make. So I would just rather, like, let it sort out, and if the group gets deleted because of people, like, posting shit that's against Facebook rules, then that's what happens. But that, so shockingly, hasn't happened yet. And, like, the other option is, you know, you make the group private, but my thought process was that, you know, you make the group public, and then people will police themselves, because once you make it private, you can't make it public again. And I like to have that reach of, like, just, like, insane shit filtering out. I like that half the people in the fucking group, like, don't know who I am. That to me, that's the hallmark of a good fucking group, when it starts to have nothing to do with the thing that it's about. But it's constantly at a risk of getting deleted, and I'll get, like, messages about things like, hey, like, the people in the group are going to war with the furries, and shit like that, and I don't know what's happening. I enjoy the chaos, enjoy the Facebook group while it lasts, because I can't see Facebook not deleting it at some point. But anyway, so, as with a few months ago, what I did with the Discord Q&A, I keep on looking to where the camera isn't, because I changed the position of it again. So a few months ago, I did a Discord Q&A. This time I'm going to do one with Facebook questions, which, by the way, I think there's, like, some more questions accumulated in the Discord one. But anyway, here's the questions from this, and from the Facebook group, and I'm sure this is going to be a shit show as well. Nicole and Chaplin, would you rather swim in pudding or bathe in Jell-O? I'm gonna say swim in pudding, because, like, if you bathe in Jell-O, you gotta shower up again anyway, so it's not really a bath in Jell-O, it's just, you know. Also, I feel like you're gonna have a problem with the Jell-O, where it kind of, like, it congeals in uncomfortable places and shit like that. So the pudding is definitely way better. Also, pudding is just, like, tastier than Jell-O if it gets in your mouth. Aaron Birdie, there was a pinned post in the group with the questions. Alright, Corey Huerta. Would Whang do a podcast? Perhaps call it Whang Out Hangout. Alright, so I was supposed to do a podcast. I generally, don't, I don't like the idea of doing a podcast specifically because I don't like to have a schedule of any kind. I enjoy, you know, I can like do whatever the fuck I want on my own schedule and not have to do something weekly. But at the same time, it would be good to have a podcast, and I was talking about doing one with my guitar player from Jinx, Jerry, and my friend Anthony, who it's like, I think the fun thing about that, like, I can get in like really funny conversations with these guys, but at the same time, like, those two are like very much like not internet people, so I can kind of, you can work with like having me be who I am and have like these guys not be internet people and see how it turns out. And like, I like when a podcast has that live energy, so where it's kind of like you got like 3 guys in a room as opposed to a bunch of guys on Skype or Discord or whatever. So we would be in the same room recording it. So I think that'll go pretty well. I don't know. Otherwise, like, I feel like the only 2 podcasts I did where I did like really well was the one I did with Wavy Websurf and Willie Mac, because I had really good chemistry with those guys. And the Loudmouths podcast, which I think that was Wild Spartans, Quite, and FPS Diesel. There were so many funny moments on that podcast. But yeah, I prefer that kind of podcast where it's just like guys talking shit and not really, you know, interviews. Like, I'm not a fan of interviews and stuff like that. What's going on, Super Saiyan R2 Goku Black YT? What up, Shelby Gloom, Green James, Black Tooth? Oh, I got questions inside the chat too, on top of the questions from Facebook. Maybe I'll get some of those later. Let's get to the Facebook ones first. Ronan Hernandez. Would you rather have a monster fuck your eye socket, or have a serial killer stab your stomach and fuck the wound? I would definitely go with the monster, because here's the thing, like, if a serial killer, you can assume the serial killer is human, so, like, the monster, like, if it's like a humanoid monster, then maybe, but if it's like an animal-type monster, the thing is, then there's less of a chance of me getting disease. Like, the serial killer probably has, like, AIDS or hepatitis or something, so if it fucks me and it comes in my stomach wound, then I'm more likely to get, like, AIDS or some shit, whereas, like, the monster, even if the monster has monster AIDS, it might not transfer to human, so it's like, it's still gonna be not a good time no matter what happens. But at least, like, the monster can, like, fuck my eye socket, and then that's the end of it. Moira, no, like, the way... I don't want you to grab them and send it to me on Twitter. I don't want to have, like, a bunch of different things I'm looking at once. I'm just gonna go through the... what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the Facebook questions on Facebook, and then I'll just, like, look at the chat and see what happens. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, here we go. Julian Jr. Merrier. Which race do you believe is powerful? If we're talking physically powerful, here's the thing, like, instinctually, I would guess, like, I would assume that, like, black is, like, powerful physically, but then you look at, like, the strongman contests, and it's, like, all, like, European dudes, like, what's that guy's fucking name? Zaidrunas Savikas. That guy's crazy looking. He, like, pulls trucks and shit. But at the same time, it may be, like, some kind of a selection bias, where it's, like, black guys just don't want to pull trucks and shit. That's, like, crazy white people stuff. So, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up for which race is most powerful. Whang Erickson. The guy who is, constantly confused with me. What is the weirdest thing by traditional standards that you've ever jerked off to? Oh, jerked off to completion to. I don't know. I don't have any, like, weird tastes, I guess. Oh, honestly, you know what? Now that I think about it, growing up, the first porn I looked at was, like, it was, like, all, like, hentai and, like, that Nude Raider website. So I guess I started with 2D women and worked my way up to 3D women, which is not normal. So I guess that would be, like, the process that... I guess that's the answer. I started off weird and got normal. William James Leslie Kilpatrick. Do you hate this group yet? That one got a lot of likes. No, I don't. Like, I feel like it's in a good place where it's kind of like... It's my group, but it's my group. All my Facebook presence, it's like me, but it's really more like this generalized shit-posting presence on Facebook. which is good, and I'm honestly surprised, like, and even my regular page has lasted, because, like, a lot of the good Facebook meme pages and shit got deleted over the years, over stuff that was really innocuous. Like, one example I've talked about before, like Kevin 3 had, like, a million fucking pages that got deleted over nothing, really. And then, but then it's like, sometimes I'll get, like, I mean, like I said, I've gotten so many community warnings from Facebook over the group that I'm shocked that it's still standing, but, you know, it's just, it is what it is, it's its own thing. I like for all the things, like, I'm very big on having myself be, like, spread out amongst all social media and have it be different, because, like, if you're putting up the same shit on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, if it's all the same content on all of your platforms, it's kind of like, there's not much of a... And Eric Wong just like, what did he message me about? Don't act like you don't get off to egg-laying dick nipples. I think you're thinking of talking about dick-shitting nipples. Shitting dick nipples, rather. Like, the nipples are dicks and the shit coming out of them. What happens when the group catches the Zook? I mean, I guess, like, you make another group, as is tradition. Kerry Grova Fett. Have you found any tales that have been too fucked up to cover, but still wanted to? Definitely not. I mean, especially not since I started doing the Storyfire thing. Like, Blowfly Girl is one that I kind of put off, because I was like, I would think in my head, Blowfly Girl, that's not so bad, right? But then I would actually sit down and read the story, and I'm like, there's no way this is gonna fly on Facebook. Now I have that, so I can do things like that on. The things that I worry more about, I guess, are things that involve people's lives, and it might be a thing where, like, my hair is, like, doing this thing that's, like, pissing me off, and I keep on trying to fix it. There we go. No, I didn't fix it. There. This is what happens when, like, I go outside and sweat before I start the fucking stream. But anyway, the things that concern me more are, like, things with people's personal lives. Like, one of them that, like, a lot of people asked for that I didn't want to do was Jesse Slaughter, because it involved, like, a lot of, like, child abuse stuff and things like that. And I didn't really want to touch that kind of a topic, so I stayed away from it. And then, like, Gamer from Mars wound up doing it. And I remember, actually, after Gamer from Mars did his video about her, she had posted a Facebook story about how he got this and this and that wrong, and I think he offered to, interview her or something, but nothing ever, like, became of that. I think he did. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's correct or not. Chanel Cruz. What is my most guilty pleasure sex fantasy? I don't know. I don't know that I feel... Like, I don't really have any predilections that are that crazy, and if I did, I don't think I'm the kind of person that would feel guilt over it. I would just, like, this is unless it was something illegal, I guess, then it would be, like, a guilty thing. But I don't think anything I like is illegal. So I don't think I have anything to go for that question. Guilty... I mean, I guess, like, the most guilty thing is, like, when you're done and you're kind of, like, you want him to go home, but you don't want to kick her out of your apartment either, so you're kind of, like, you know, you're just kind of, like, it's like purgatory. You just kind of, like, you start, like, cleaning up the shelves and things, keeping yourself occupied till they're like, alright, I guess I'm gonna go. I guess that's a guilty thing. Joel Salazar Cervantes. You guys all have, like, very, like, fancy names. I'm pretty sure you have a high tolerance for weird internet crap, but has there been any content or subject matter that even you have said, fuck no? Or content that at one time was quite controversial, but now, as the hype died, you feel comfortable making a video of it? I mean, the only things that, like, I want to shy away from are the stuff that... Like, I've had people, like, hit me up, like, oh, you gotta expose this or that online pedophile ring, and it's kind of like, basically anything that I see is, like, a job for the police and not YouTubers and stuff I'll stay away from. Because there's a lot of people out there that kind of want YouTubers to be the internet police, and it's just like, I'm not down with that. if you could choose any one superpower... Oh, this is Tristan Seaver. If you could choose any one superpower, what would it be and why? I don't know, like, sometimes I think it would be to read people's minds, but it's, in practice, like, it wouldn't, I think mind reading wouldn't be as useful as people think it is, because, like, people's kind of, their internal monologue is so, flexible, that, like, they may be thinking one thing in one moment, and you read their minds, and you base your actions off of that, moments, but then it changes, and it's not useful information anymore, so you gotta read their mind again. That's a burden. Flying's no good, because then it's like, you need flying with some kind of wind resistance, otherwise you're just gonna rip your fucking skin off and die in the air. So that's no good. Super strength? No. Superpower? Invulnerability would be a good one, yeah. I want to be invincible. Perfect. Am I Tom Fowler, are you Kerry Groves' friend? Yeah. I don't have the shirt, but I am. Miguel Angel Rios del Val. When can I become Asian? Just, you know, like, move to China and they'll make you an honorary Asian. That's how it works, right? The Chinese, they love everyone that's not Chinese. And they're more than willing to make you Chinese. If you were president of the United States, what would my first policy entail? I guess the first policy, because, like, here's the thing about being president. I wouldn't want to be president, because there's, like, it's just, like, a lot of boring, shitty fucking work. So I guess, like, the first order would be to, like, have, like, a shadow president that actually does all the work, and I just get to be, like, you know, I get to, like, be like Trump and just make fun of people and shit. That might be what he did. I don't know. Like, I would want, if I were president, I would 100% just, like, wind up like Trump, like, on Twitter all day, fucking tweeting and, like, tweeting shit at people. It would be like that, but a million times fucking worse. If I were president. Have I ever thought of making a short film? This was... Wait, alright, so Brendan Joseph Kennedy, I don't know if I read his name, asked the president question. Wilbury Wince Worthington, I don't think that's your real name. That doesn't sound like... That sounds like a time traveler from... You know... From the olden days. Wilbury Wince Worthington. Have I ever thought about making a short film? Before I did a YouTube or any of this stuff, I used to want to make, like, fucking shitty gore movies and stuff like that. I guess the sensible thing would be to start with a short film to do that kind of thing, but I always picture them being feature-length stuff. I still eventually want to do that. Maybe go back to some of the screenplays I abandoned over the years. Like, looking back at any of my old writing is so fucking cringy, but I guess that's how it always is, but there were some cool concepts that I would like to revisit and try to write as a not fucking idiot now. Or not, let me not say not idiot, less of an idiot now. Cass Michael. Can I name all of the different TV shows and movies that I was an extra in? That's, like, there's definitely, like, way too many to name, and I probably forgot a lot of them. Because what I used to do before I was full-time on YouTube was, there's, like, a lot of film industry in New York. So what I would do is I would just work, like, every show and movie that was shooting in New York as an extra. But let me think of some of the ones where you will actually be able to find me. The coolest one is definitely this Lifetime movie, Custody. So that one, there's a scene where Hayden Panettiere, like, she's, like, playing, like, this, like, uptight, prissy lawyer girl, and she goes on, like, a bender or something and winds up at a trashy bar, and then the night after she goes to the trashy bar, she wakes up in bed next to me, and it's like, oh, like, this is a shocking moment. She's in the bed with some trashy dude. So I'm the trashy dude that she woke up next to. So that was probably, like, the most featured thing that I've done. But you'll be able to find me in Gotham. What else? For John Wick 3, they shot... Alright, so John Wick 3, if you watch John Wick 3, there's like a montage where they're calling up all the assassins and shit, and there's a few close-ups on people. They shot a close-up of me for that scene, but they didn't use it, and I was so pissed off, because I was like, this is gonna be like the coolest thing that I was ever in. They had me in this cool-looking pimp jacket and shit. It looked really cool, and then just didn't use it. That was disappointing. Let me think, what else? There's, well, everyone keeps attacking me in You, because there's a scene where I'm in the band with some girl in that show. People keep telling me it's a good show, but when I was shooting it didn't seem that interesting. There's a few episodes of Broad City that you'll see me in. What else? I did work on a couple episodes of Inside Amy Schumer. I don't remember if you see me in those or not. There's like... Oh, actually, wait. What's that fucking 50 Cent show? Oh, Law & Order, yeah, I think there's an episode of Law & Order you can spot me in. The 50... Why can't I remember 50 Cent's fucking show now? The name of it, not Empire. It's not Empire, but it's like compared to Empire a lot. Power, that's it. Thank you, Chaotic Knight. Power. There's a few episodes of Power that you can spot me in. There's one that I don't think it's out yet. One where where I'm like with one, like at a table with like one of the principal actors. So there's that one. And there's a prison scene in, what was that show with the guy from Tucker and Dale versus Evil? And he like, talked to ghosts and shit. I don't remember what, show that was. But there's an episode of that when he's in prison, and a fight breaks out, like, at the table that I'm sitting at. There's definitely more in that. Those are just ones I remember off the top of my head. The only thing I ever did with a speaking role, Spoopy Man, before it was even Union, there was, this terrible fucking, it was like the most, slapped together fucking production I ever seen in my fucking life. Hey, I clickbait Spoopies. It was, this movie, it was called, like, Wife Missing or something like that, and they brought me in to be an extra. But then they saw, like, I'm Asian and I had the tattoos, and it was about, like, Chinese sex trafficking or whatnot. So they wound up upgrading me to be, one of the sex trafficking guys' hired goons. So at some point, I, like, grab the girl and, like, throw her into the room, and I'm like, stay there, and that's my fucking line. And, apparently, like, it wasn't even the movie. It was, they shot a trailer for a Kickstarter fundraiser. And like, I'm at this production, there's like the woman who wrote the book, I guess, it's like her, like, little children are, like, walking around with the boom mics and stuff like that. Like, it was a very as indie as a production can get, but, like, then the director was, like, this big fat guy who was, like, I kind of got the impression he's, like, running the show and, like, found this woman and just was like, we're gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they had, like, $100,000 Kickstarter, I think, or probably more. I think it was like $300,000 on Kickstarter, and I think they wound up raising in total for the production of this movie like $100. So, needless to say, it didn't get made. Drink some water. What is the most Gabriel Aviles. What is the most horrible thing I have ever seen, personally? Let me think. I'm trying to think, because I know I've seen some crazy shit, but I don't remember what. Like, I'm assuming you mean, like, in person, like, I guess, like, random car crashes and shit. Did, like, drive around a lot on tour, and, like, there was, like, one time, I know, there was, like, a crazy fucking car accident on the other side of the highway. That might be about it. And, Dicker, no, I'm not Chinese, but, like, you know, like, I'm not Chinese, but I've played Chinese on so many TV shows. Actually, what's funny is, going back to the extras question, like, every show, I haven't worked that much the past year, so I don't know, like, who's, like, still in circulation. But anytime there was a scene I was working that was, like, Chinese criminals, whether it be, like, or, like, you know, if it was triads, Yakuza, I played, like, Indonesian or some shit once. Whenever there's anything, like, with criminal agents, basically, you will pick out, like, the same, like, assortment of people, more or less. Like, there's a handful of, like, Asians that have tattoos that do this, and there's, like, a handful of just, like, big, like, tough-looking Asians that are just, like, big motherfuckers with, like, crazy-ass faces. You'll see them a lot if you, like, pay attention to, like, shows that shooting. Oh, yeah, another one was, one of those scenes, shit, I don't remember the name of the fucking show now. It was, but the scene was, like, there was, like, an underground gambling den, and I played this one guy's bodyguard, and then I played one of this guy's hired goons, again in Mr. Robot. The Mr. Robot scene, though, you can only see the back of my head, but it's the same guy, and I'm playing, the same guy playing, like, a lead Chinese bad guy, and I'm playing one of his goons. Let me see, Seth, oh yeah, Seth Man, or Seth Man, you got $20 I can borrow, I'm good for it. Nah, B, I got shit for you. David Davidson, would you rather meet Prince or Hitler? I don't know that I want to meet any of them. I'm never, like, a big fan of, like, the who would I, the who would you meet questions, because it's like, I've had, like, people, like, ask me these kinds of questions in a lot of different ways, and obviously, comparing Prince and Hitler, I'm kind of losing the spirit of the question by going off on this tangent, but it's like, I don't, like, I see people get asked questions like that in interviews a lot. It's like, what celebrity would you like to meet, or have a beer with, or whatever, and it's like, I don't have people that I want to meet. I don't want to meet anybody. Like, I look at, like, these, I'll see lines at conventions and things where it's like, oh, you can pay $75 to shake a guy's hand and take a picture of it, and it's like, damn, like, have some self-respect. I get, like, some people, like, live off that, so it's like, I'm not trying to, like, take food out of anybody's mouth, but it's kind of like, why would you pay money to interact with another human being? It's, I guess, like, I guess what it comes down to is I don't see famous people as being above me in any kind of way. Like, I don't have that kind of admiration for other men. Eric Robinson. Well, although, like, that being said, I probably would prefer to meet Prince over Hitler. What are your favorite and least favorite condiments? Are we counting sauces as condiments? Because, like, I've been, like, on a big, like, spicy mayo thing. Like, what I like to do is, I mean, really, any kind of mayo. I fucking love mayo. But, thanks for the sub, Fruity Jackson. What I like to do is, I have, like, all the Hot One sauces, and depending on how spicy I'm feeling that day, I would, like, I'll take some mayo and, like, mix a Hot One sauce, so it's, like, an extra spicy mayo. So it'll be a spicy mayo, but it'll be, like, a real spicy mayo. And, like, that's, like, my fucking jam right now. I love putting that on, like, on everything, really. Least favorite? Not really a... I'm tempted to say ketchup, but I don't, like, hate ketchup. Ketchup has its moments. There's gotta be something that's, like, disgusting to me that I like less than ketchup. But I can't think of it right now, so I guess ketchup is gonna be my pick. Jimmy O'Connor. Oh, and that was Eric Robinson that asked the condiment question. I keep on forgetting if I asked people's names. If I said people's names or not. Jimmy O'Connor. Favorite wrestler not named Matt Taven. Alright, the Matt Taven thing is an inside joke. my friend Jimmy, because like I used to go to like Ring of Honor shows a lot with Jimmy, and it's like Matt Taven. I think Matt Taven is still is like the world champion now. I think he won the world championship at a show I was at, and I was like, fucking really? But back in his TV title days was like when he was really like on my radar. And I would see him all the time, because that's when I was going to, like, every single Ring of Honor show that I could. And his matches were, like, always, like, the low point for me. But so I would, like, one time I was, like, at a show with Jimmy. And, like, I'm fucking trashed at this Ring of Honor show, just yelling shit at Matt Taven throughout his whole fucking match. Which, I mean, he was a heel, so it's fine for him, you know? That's, he wants people to hate him in that, so, like, it's whatever. Oh, but, yeah, that's where it comes from. But thank you, Shelby Gloom, by the way, for those cheers. Favorite wrestler, not named Matt Taven. I fell off with wrestling in general recently, but the first name that comes to my head is Katsuyori Shibata, who I think he's retired or semi-retired now, because he had some crazy injury from literally actually fucking headbutting people. The thing is, like, I like strong style wrestlers and like dudes who like actually like are stiff as fuck when they wrestle, but what happens to him is that's the consequence of that style that I love so much, so that's how it goes. and like going back to that, there's this one really good documentary on YouTube about Misawa, who died in the ring. With the King's Road style, by I think it was by Kim Justice. That was like a really good overview of that style of wrestling, and specifically Misawa. Even though, you know, I'm not saying the King's Road and Strong Style are the same, but it's like, you know, it's similar in concept, I guess. What up, Amy? Favorite anime? And this was Griffin Helmer. Favorite anime? Kind of fell off on anime a lot recently too, but I mean, Elfen Light is up there. I loved Azumanga Daioh back in the day. Like, there's a period of time when you could have asked me that question, and I would, without thinking about it, said Azumanga Daioh. Grant fucks. Does he? He's in the Facebook group, so he must fuck. With all of your extra parts in TV shows, would you like to graduate to speaking roles and eventually become an actor? Not specifically, really. Like, alright, so here's the thing about being an extra. Being an extra, a lot of people think of it as like this pathway, even like people who do this for their job. They think of it as a pathway to becoming like a full-fledged actor, and that's not really true. Those are kind of like two different worlds that there are times when they intersect. Like, one time I worked on the show Younger, and they were doing a bit when guys were going up to Hilary Duff and trying to hit on her at the bar. She was turning them all down, and they had selected a bunch of like, they took aside like a bunch of us to be the potential featured extra, to basically walk up to her, and before they even say anything, she blows them off and he turns around dejected. They didn't pick me, they wanted to pick me some like redhead dude. But then, like, when they actually shot the scene, they saw that, like, the way it was going, it was, like, awkward, so he had to say something, and then that dude wound up getting an upgrade, and they bring out, when that happens, they bring out the contract for you, and, then, you know, that's, like, really the only time you move from being an extra to a principal actor. Otherwise, you know, you're going on auditions and shit, and it's, like, a total different environment. I mean, I have been on auditions and shit. I'm not a good actor. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But sometimes, you know, if it's like a simple, like, what's the term? There's a term for, like, if you say under a certain amount of words. Like, it might be like an under 5 or under 30 or something like that. Sometimes with those kinds of parts, they don't really care as long as you've got the look. But I've been on a few of those auditions, got a few callbacks, but never actually booked anything. But it's like, even if if someone gives me a work opportunity, even if I know I'm gonna suck at it, I'm not gonna say no. But I'm not actively pursuing acting in any kind of way, nor is it ever really been my goal. And I saw somebody, Daki-shun. These questions are in my Facebook group. There's like a pinned post with them in there. Arkin Black. Will India become a superpower by 2020? Well, no, here we are in 2020. If there's anyone Indian in the chat, are they feeling very powerful? I don't know. I mean, India is, like, economically speaking, like, it's important to, like, take a look at India. I started researching this last year, but I kind of hit a dead end and didn't pursue it, but I really would like to have all of my videos get, like, Hindi subtitles. I feel like that's a smart thing for YouTubers to do, is have Hindi subtitles, at least. But I gotta look into, like, the services for that, because I want it to be done professionally. What are my... Brandon Edge. What are my politics? Honestly, like, I'm kind of at a point now where it's like, I don't really fucking even know. Like, I think it's very obvious to anyone who follows me on any kind of social media that I'm, like, very, like, much, like... I have, like, a kind of disdain for, like, the whole, like, woke culture shit, which, in doing that, it kind of puts me in a league with a lot of conservatives, but then I see, like, a lot of, like, leftists are starting to, like, reject that, too, and they're kind of like, you people who are, like, shrieking over, like, dumb shit are making us look bad and ignore, like, valid economic policies, so they're kind of distancing themselves from that thing that annoys me, but honestly, I'm not a person who... There's a thing that people do where it's like, if you're a person online, they want to look to you for their politics and shit like that. I haven't read a book in like a year. Like, I'm not a person you should be looking to for your politics. I mean, that being said, now I'm like on the market for insurance, and I'm looking at like because like my insurance that I had expired. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, shit, man, like, this Medicare for all starting to sound kind of good. I don't want to deal with this shit. Let me see here. Mason Adam Zadorozniak. When am I going to collab with Internet Historian? You know, there's a few times we spoke about it. One of the first times I ever spoke to Internet Historian, we were talking about doing an In the Field on his second channel, but it just kind of never came about. And then more recently, we spoke about, oh, what's up, DS Koopa? Thanks for the sub. We had spoke about, doing some kind of, like, me doing a voice for one of his cringy fanfic videos. But we haven't really followed up on that. But eventually I'll do something with him. I talk to him, like, somewhat. Every now and again. I feel like I haven't seen him online much recently. He's probably been busy with something. Because he used to be, like... He used to pop up all the time, but I haven't seen him much, in the Twitter world recently. Zesso.exe. How has the sudden, past 2 years or so, success of your channel changed your day-to-day life? I mean, the biggest thing, it's kind of like, so when I was focusing on, doing extra jobs on movies and TV as my main source of income, the way my day would look, even if I wasn't booked, I would still have to wake up early to answer the emails, to try to get book as many dates as I could. Now it's, even though, like, it was, like, kind of like a loose, gig-based schedule, it was, it kept me on some kind of a schedule, even though it wasn't a strict schedule, especially when, like, a lot of times you're working overnights and things like that. But, now that, like, YouTube is my main job, and I'm entirely responsible for my own schedule, I find that it's kind of... The biggest change, it's kind of like... sometimes you gotta take a step back and, like, pull yourself and, like, be like, oh, like, I need to, like, do things like a normal person. I need to leave my apartment sometimes. You know, like, that kind of stuff. Like, it's... I think I realized, like, the reason why a lot of YouTubers and streamers, like, struggle with mental health is because, like, they literally don't go outside, ever. Because you don't have to when you're living this kind of lifestyle. So, like, you kind of... You have to take a proactive stance on things that you realize are bad for you and get them, and like, nip them in the bud before they become a problem. But also, it's also, like, a lot of freedom, too, that I didn't have before. Like, I can kind of... If I wanted to take this whole month off, I could, and there probably wouldn't be, like, consequences of that. And stuff like, there's a lot of things that, like, I don't have to think about anymore that I used to have to think about in terms of, like scheduling things and, like, travel and finances and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, like, DS Koopa, exactly. Like, your perspective, like, if you, like, if you fall, especially, like, you don't even need to, like, leave your house to go grocery shopping or anything. Like, everything could be brought to you. Like, during the summer, I made a very conscious effort to try to at least get enough sunlight. I got into this weird thing where I'm, like, reading up a lot on, like, vitamin D and, like, how sunlight affects your mood and shit like that. I got myself one of those, like, sad lamps, actually, which I haven't used it, but, like, it kind of, you know, so you at least, even, like, when you get into the time of the year when you don't really have good sunlight, you can still, like, have good fake sunlight. Mark Prozia. Mark Prozia. What's your best accomplishment that came out of spite? I know that, like, I've definitely done some good things out of spite. Shit. I'm trying. I feel like all, like, my real good spite accomplishments, though, came as a kid. Shit. Damn, am I really drawing a fucking blank on this question? I feel like even, like, Obsidian Zero, yeah, I guess, like, a lot of, like, half my fucking Twitter timeline, I wouldn't say it's spite so much as just, like, I don't even know how you would classify that. I don't know. What a Port Island station. Damn, yeah, I can't, I'm gonna have to come back to that one at a later date. Sorry, Mark. Cameron Allison. Why haven't you made your own special sauce jar? Just to see what it would smell like. I mean... Here's something I've wanted to do, too. If I ever got to a point... if I ever got, like, my own U2s... Let me put it this way. If I ever got my own U2s, I would 100% find a way. Like, this is actually something I should start looking into, even if I don't get the U2s. Like, how I could just make my own branded jars. Like, I feel like that would be a smart merchandising thing to do. Just have Whang jars that I could sell. There's a lot of, considerations into that. As for, like, the smell of it, there's, like, one of my neighbors has this fucking tree that, like, at a certain time of year, it makes the whole block smell like fucking cum. Like, I don't need to do the experiment because I know it's not gonna be nice. Let me see here. Peter Andiamo. Are you really doing an AMA? Oh, Peter, you like, that was the question? You could have asked anything, and this is the question. Here we are. Braden Alfs? What's the most disturbing thing you ever had to talk about on the show, in your opinion? Let me think. Because here's the thing, like, I'm not someone that, would be made uncomfortable by the grossness of a thing. But I think, like, if there, I'm trying to remember, if there's, like, any kind of, like, abuse or, like, bad things happening to kids. I don't think I ever covered anything like that, because that's something that I would be uncomfortable covering. And I've, like, specifically avoided covering because, like, I'm not comfortable making videos on those kinds of topics. Shit. I don't think, alright, the one thing that I can think of that kind of fucked with me a little bit when I was doing it was actually, the haunted painting. So, when I got the haunted painting, that was the first video, I think, that I edited. I have an ultra widescreen monitor, and it's like, it was such, like, it's not just that it's like an ultra widescreen monitor, it's like, just like a very nice quality monitor. So much better than what I had before, which was like, I think what I was working on before was like a 1080i TV, because the monitor I had before that broke, so I was just using that. So this was like a major upgrade in like size and just quality of image, brightness. So the first video I edited was about the haunted painting, and there's periods of it where I'm editing text and whatnot, and I have the whole haunted painting up on screen looking at me while I do my work, and like I started getting uncomfortable with that, and I had to, like, while I did those edits, make it be on another frame where the painting's not looking at me. That being said, I don't think the painting's actually haunted. I just think it's a creepy fucking painting, and I didn't want that creepy kid in the painting looking at me. Because you notice that, like, haunted paintings, they're always, like, creepy-looking paintings. There's never, like, here's, like, a beautiful Bob Ross haunted painting, you know? Shelby Gloom, do you have stupid? Yeah, a lot of them. Myrtle Tuna, do I have a normal wiener or an Asian wiener? I guess by definition I have an Asian wiener, but you know, sometimes you wake up and you're having a good dick day, sometimes you wake up and you're not having a good dick day, you know, it's, it varies. It varies. Jack Mudell, what's my favorite mystery that I've seen, whether it be on the channel or something I've just known about? Something that honestly, like, fascinates me a lot in terms of mysteries, it's just, like, lost games. Like, there's, like, recently, I don't know if I'll do a video about it, and I don't know if there's enough to do a video on it, but recently someone found an abandoned Akira game for Genesis. Like, stuff like that is fascinating to me. Like, I used to, even sit around with Game Genie. And this actually, that reminds me of, I don't know if any of you guys watch Boundary Break. I fucking love Boundary Break. And then there was another dude, actually, who, hacked the Silent Hills demo and found, all the shit in it. Like, you walk around outside because it was fully rendered and stuff like that. Like, stuff like that of, like, lost video games and things that are, like, abandoned portions of video games that are still inside them. Like, for instance, finding that WWF logo inside a Mortal Kombat 2. Like, shit like that is fascinating to me. Alright, what's the next? Jose Garza Lozano. Have you really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? I remember that internet meme. Richie Diaz. What is the biggest mystery that you would love to solve? At this point, I would love to actually find out who made the fucking mystery song. Like, I keep on having people send me other mysterious songs, but it's like, I don't want to move on to another one until that one's found. Because then it's kind of like... First off, I feel like that would completely dilute the search if you have multiple mystery songs being looked at by my channel, and then people are gonna get their wires crossed and think someone's talking about one song when they're not talking about the other one. And then you have all the people who I mentioned in the Saki-san Obashi video, people hitting me up, like, oh, this sounds like it's my dad's band, because my dad played old music, and this is old music. But I would love... Oh, the Dresser Coordinates too, Happy Hanabi. That's another one. I don't know whatever became of that. I don't know that we'll ever know what became, because I don't think there's necessarily a thing where they have to tell us what happened. David McLeod, do I like mudkips? Also, make a video on finding out if that was true or not. Oh. Here's the thing, like, the mudkips meme from back in the day on 4chan, that meme was, like, to me, like, back in the day, like, the shittiest fucking meme. And then it's like, when people make fun of Reddit for, like, the whole, like, stupid fucking bacon narwhal shit, I'm like, you guys know that 4chan had their own version of that back in the day. The mudkips, do you like mudkips thing. And that was, like, just as fucking cringy. Anything where it's like, you want to find out in real life who's in your secret internet club. It never goes good. Guillaume Grinder. Favorite metal albums of 2019? I don't remember listening to that many new albums this year. I know the Acacia Strain recently put out an album that it's like, it was a very different album for them. I really enjoyed that one, actually. I might call that my favorite metal album of 2019, just because I don't remember what else I listened to this year. And that one's recent. Alan Santa Cruz. Can you do a video about a fictional place called Tlaxcala? I don't know what that is. Maybe. There's like that fictional island, or whatever the fuck, that came up recently. And people were like tagging me and a bunch of other people to do it. I think Nexpo did make a video about it, but I don't remember what it was called. Who's my favorite Mexican luchador? Adam Adams asked. Favorite Mexican luchador? Shit. See, I never followed, Lucha Libre that closely specifically, so most of my knowledge of that comes from guys who went out into other promotions. Like early WCW. Not early WCW, but like WCW, like, around a little bit before the Attitude Era. Like, young Rey Mysterio was fucking crazy. Like, people who only know Rey Mysterio from his WWF days, WWE days, and on, they're missing out. Because, like, WCW and before Rey Mysterio, it's like, he's like another guy. It's like, even now, like, you watch his WCW matches, and you're like, holy shit. Especially anything he did with Dean Malenko. And then I remember that guy Blitzkrieg standing out a lot in WCW, but I don't think he was Mexican. I think he was American. Who else was good? I honestly, I might have to be generic and go with Rey Mysterio, just because, like, everything cool I'm remembering from back then is Rey Mysterio. And of all the cruiserweights, though, Dean Malenko was my favorite. Navaninth Jayakumar. Who the fuck is Justin Whang? See, I'm not sure if that guy is memeing, or if it's like one of the people who legitimately don't know who I am and just are in the group because it's a good shitposting group. Which, like I said, that's fucking awesome. That people who, like, don't know who I am are in my, like, Facebook presence. Like, the fucking, in the group and the page. Because that means that those things are serving their purpose. Cameron Mitchell. What limits do I have that I think people would find interesting? Honestly, like, most of my limits are, like, things to do with, like, smells. Like, I can't be around gross smells. They just, like, bother me. Like, also, like, butt stuff. Like, I don't do butt stuff. The whole obsession with doing anal and shit like that, it's fucking gross to me. Like if you need to resort to the butt because a girl's just not tight enough or whatever the fuck, then it's like, what are you even doing? Is it really worth it to get shit on your dick? No, I don't think so. Especially not to, like, in your apartment where it's just gonna get all over. Yeah, I don't go with that whole, like, oh, people, like, memed eating ass into being a thing. I'm not getting food poisoning from your fucking asshole. Sorry. Alright. If I lost my place. Reagan Banfield. Wait, how did I skip? I, like, skipped a bunch of questions somehow. Reagan Banfield, if you are two weren't anymore, would you even? Yes. Bobby Israel, is this the official Whang page? Of course it is. There we go. Shelby Durham, Qdoba or Chipotle? I've only had Qdoba once. But Chipotle is garbage, so I might say Qdoba just because, like, I'm not as familiar with it. Here's the thing about Chipotle. Like, Chipotle, it's like, the food they give you, like, where I'm at in the city, there's all these, like, Chinese-run Mexican places that are kind of, like, they're cheaper than Chipotle. The food is better quality, and they give you a better portion. So it's like and plus you can get like spaghetti and shit at them too. So it's like everything that Chipotle does, Chinese people do Mexican food better. I think some of them might be Korean, but I think it's mostly Chinese places because you have like a lot of places that it's like they sell Chinese food and Mexican food in the same building, which was awesome because like there's this one by my old job that it's like. They used to do ground chorizo, but then they changed to the chopped and it sucked. But when they had the ground chorizo, I would like put that on I would get Chinese food and then put that on top of it, and like that shit was fucking amazing. But then there's also like authentic Mexican places around too, or like a taco truck. Like we have taco trucks all over the fucking place. So it's like, why would I fuck with Chipotle? The only reason I would fuck with Chipotle is because, like, sometimes if you're in a band, you can get it for free. Although I heard they stopped doing that because too many people were, like, taking advantage of it and, like, not being on tour and still just, like, getting free food. Clayton Martin. Crack? Sure. Ian Dutton. How does it feel knowing that complete strangers watch me regularly? I don't know, that's like, it definitely is weird. I forgot who the fuck it was that tweeted something that, that really put it in perspective. It was kinda like, you know, imagine, I think it was a tweet, it might have been a YouTube video, I saw this recently, that it's kinda like, think about how, like, if you're in a crowd and you're talking to, like, 15 people, like, think of, like, that feels like a lot of people, like, if you're talking to them in person. But then picture, like I'm doing a video and it's got, like, on average, I think I'm averaging, like, 300,000 views a video. Like, imagine shoving all those people into one building to watch the video at once. And it's like, it kind of puts that in perspective. And it's fucking crazy. Ziki Montes Pausa. What is the size of my wang? I answered that before. It's like, it depends on whether or not I'm having a good dick day or not. Arian Wilson. That's bait. My favorite thing about the That's Bait gif, and you can kind of, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's see if that's in focus. Get that there. The That's Bait gif, like 90%, obviously this isn't in context here, but 99% of the times, when I see that gif on Facebook, it's people who are, like, not understanding sarcasm or shit like that. Can I do Percito del Castillo? Can I do a video game mystery video on the Street Fighter 1 Ryu flaming jump kick rumor? I don't remember that rumor, but that could be an interesting video, depending. Taha Siddiqui, Fender or Gibson? If those are my only two choices, definitely Fender. Like, even, like, the Fender that I have over here, this is, like, the first guitar that I ever had. And it's, like, a shitty Squire Strat. It's not, like, very good quality, but I still, like, I like the feel of it. I honestly, I don't know if Fender makes a stock 7-string now, Something I actually considered doing is, like, getting, like, a custom 7-string from Fender for my band. Because I really like how Fenders feel. Although I use Schecters Live right now just because, like, I can get the kind of sound I want out of them. And they have 7 strings. Callum Evans, how big's your dick, mate? Answered that one already. Brea Kaki. Does Bruno Mars is gay? I spent one night, like, looking up every version of that fucking meme that I could find. It was, like, hilarious to me for, like, a night. Patrick Freeman. What are your thoughts on this cancerous shithole I call home? In parentheses, this group. I already answered that. I feel like it's serving its purpose. I'm glad that it exists in a way where it somehow hasn't gotten shut down yet. Oh, Happy Hanabi, the how big is Batista's dick meme? I might actually make a video on that one day, because, like, they were, like, on r/squared circle, there were, like, a lot of, like, good, even though that one was kind of, like, from, like, a shoot videos thing, but it also became a running joke in that subreddit. There were a lot of good, good little things that were contained in that subreddit that I might want to make videos about at some point. Like, the people doing bets. The one in particular, there's a guy on Reddit, on Squared Circle, who made a bet that, if they used this particular Fall Out Boy song that was everywhere, if they had used that for WrestleMania as a theme or something, he was gonna get a tattoo of Rusev kicking down the World Trade Center because somebody had decided on that being the thing. And I think they actually did wind up using it, but not on WrestleMania itself, but as, like, a promotional video for WrestleMania, so it was kind of a gray area. But then finally people are like, listen, like, do not get a tattoo of Rusev kicking down the World Trade Center because of a bet on fucking Reddit. They were, like, more innocuous ones. Like, I remember there was some kid who, like, he lost the bet, so he had to get a basketball thrown into his face. That was a simpler one. And then there's, like, the Savio Vega guy, who is, I don't know if any of you guys listen to The Marvelists. He has a podcast about, Marvel now. But he had a running joke on Reddit about Savio Vega losing at King of the Ring. There's stuff to do there. Win Kai, can we suck each other, Wang? Nah, B. John Smith. You ever get drunk and watch Japanese bug fights? I feel like I've only ever done that sober. Danielle Flores. What is the most unsettling kink I know? And who would you practice it with? See, I feel like the most unsettling kinks are the ones that are, like, internet-only kinks that wouldn't be feasible to do in real life. Like the ones where it's like, you know, you shove a air hose up your ass and blow up like a balloon. For any of these things, you're going to want to look up the Sonic the Hedgehog version of it. Because Sonic the Hedgehog, like, the Sonic community has explored everything you could possibly do to a body. Like, for the peak version of anything, you gotta look at Sonic. Someone actually on Twitter yesterday asked me if I would ever make videos on those, and I think I might. Like, it would be fun to do, like, a Vor video or something. Show me, Billy Shepard. Show me your guitars and tits. The guitars, well, I got this one over here I showed you already. I have this Ibanez. It's an 8-string. Here, look at it. Used it with my old band. Not with this one. I don't play 8 in this one. And then live. There's actually a video on my band's channel where we go over our live gear, where you can see my live guitar in that video. And the tits, nah, you gotta sign up for the OnlyFans for that one. I should actually make an OnlyFans. See what happens. Aiden Kuri. Have you ever been to Australia, and do you plan on visiting? If you go to Sydney, you have to go to Frankie's Pizza in the Sydney CBD. I haven't been to Australia. I actually might wind up going there this year, though, depending on if a few things fall into place. We'll see. We'll see. I'll definitely have to try that pizza from... I forgot what part I would be in if I go, though. Here's the thing, I know Australia is massive, but I just know the cities, and I just assume everything's all together. Like Sydney and Melbourne, that's like a couple blocks away, right? How tall is he? I've actually, you know what? I've actually said my height on stream before, but here's the thing that started happening. Like, whenever I take a picture with somebody, people, like, try to do, like, geometry and shit to, like, figure out how tall I am, and then they'll, like, send me, like, what their guesses are. So I kinda don't want to throw that off. Like, one of my favorite ones, like, there's a few people I've taken pictures with that are, like, legitimately fucking massive, but then people I've taken pictures with who are, like, short, too, so it's kinda, like, it really, like, warps people's perception and shit. Like, I think the first time I noticed that was I took a picture of my friend Charlie, who, like, he comes in this chat sometimes. He's, like, legitimately, like, a gigantic dude, and people are, like, trying to, like, use, like, floor tiles and shit to figure things out. It's definitely, the height is definitely not good, though. It's definitely, like, I'm past the point where it's, like, it's over for me, but I'm almost at the point where it's over for me. Edgar Blackwell. What's your favorite experience from the set of the hit action thriller Rampart? The part where Woody Harrelson fucked. No, if I was 5 for 5, it would definitely be over for me. That's like kind of like, I feel like that might be the over for you cutoff. Let's see. Luke Tromler. What channel that isn't widely known about have you been enjoying videos from lately? Honestly, the part when a lot of what I actually watch on YouTube is like podcasts and like clips and shit like that. I've been like watching Jim Cornette's channel a lot lately. Who else? Oh, there's a dude, Sumito Media. I have a collab with. I thought the collab was gonna come out yesterday. It might come out today. I don't know. I know it was supposed to come out yesterday, but then he's like editing overnight. I don't know when it's coming out. His channel is good. There's OKI. I don't know if you would consider him a small channel anymore, though. He grew a lot this year. Same thing with Beige Frequency. What I like about Beige Frequency, I might actually, I do have a video, like, Beige Frequency is very much from that, like, Opie and Anthony fandom world, and he kind of, like, brings that into, like, the type of storytelling YouTube video. There's, like, one video that I'm working on that does involve something that happened on Opie and Anthony that I might have him, like, come on and, like, do something about. I'll see if I can find a spot for him in there. That'd be cool. Frag Ninja, I haven't watched Frag Ninja. Travis Salmonch Leach. Oh, you know what's a good channel I have been watching a shit ton of? Well, actually, two of them. Carl Jobst isn't that, like... He's another guy. He's kind of like... He blew up a lot this year. So I don't know if I would even call him a small channel anymore. But his channel's really good. And Decino, or Decino. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like D-E-C-I-N-O. Both of those guys... Like, Carl does, like, speedrunning in general, but there's a lot of Doom content. And then Decino, it's like it's like nothing but like really like digging into the guts of the game Doom. It's like if honestly, like, I really like Doom, but I was never, like, a hardcore Doom fan to the level that these guys are, but it's just, like, really fascinating to watch, like, everything that goes into Doom. So I've been watching those guys a lot, too. Who else do we have here? Travis Salmenschlich. Can I break into my apartment and shave off my mustache and keep it for my own? That reminds me of a webcomic I saw back in the day. I think. Madeline Weston, does Bruno Mars is gay? Is that meme, like, making a comeback or something? I haven't, like, heard about that in, like, probably, like, 2 years. And now there's 2 people asking about that in the comments. Ethan Frisbee. How do I maintain my long locks? I don't really do much. I've been, like, trying to shampoo them less. Because, like, there's this, like, bad cycle you get into. Where it's, like, if you shampoo your hair too much, your hair gets greasy to compensate for how dry you've made it. But then it's, like, you need to wash it to get the greasiness out. So you just gotta, like, suffer, let your hair be shitty for a while till it gets good. So I'm trying to basically I'm just trying to shampoo it less now. Min Bad Loss. Yang Gang? Here's the thing about Andrew Yang. I, like, was really excited about his campaign because he was talking about automation, which is, like, to me, like, automation is, like, it's, like, the elephant in the fucking room. Like, automation is going to change the world in, like, so many crazy fucking ways that, like, it literally, automation could lead to, like, bloody fucking civil war. Like, I truly believe this. But then my hope for Andrew Yang was that he was going to get all the other candidates to talk about that issue more, which really hasn't happened, and it's not necessarily his fault. I feel like the media has kind of focused on the $1,000 a month aspect of his campaign and not really kind of ignored the underlying reasoning behind it, which is, it's not good, because, like, if we don't address, like, the ramifications of automation, like, it's coming whether we like it or not, so we'll see. I like that he's hanging in there, though. Any candidate that's, like, in the mix that is kind of, like, undermining the establishment candidates in any kind of way, I support them, even if I don't necessarily agree with everything about them. I like that upheaval. Chuck Ringorino. Chuck Ringoringo. Can you let us know when you start the next dance craze? The Wango Tango? I used to, when I was in the world we knew, I don't know what caused this, but, like, we would be loading out, and, like, I would just kind of, like, do, like, this, like, spastic, like, I can't even do it now. I don't remember what the fuck I used to do. But, like, I would get anxious, I would get, like, restless, because there's something that happens when you're in a band sometimes, and you're, like, you know, you wind up waiting around for people, and you're ready to go, and everyone else isn't ready to go, and then you wind up doing something else, and people wind up waiting for you. But it's at some point of this, I just started doing this, like, crazy, like, fucking seizure-esque dance. And that became a thing for a while. Thora Rygard. I saw your Visual K video. What old school Visual K bands do I like? My favorite is Sleep, My Dear. Well, back in the day, During Grey was my favorite of the Visual K bands. I don't know if you would consider X Japan Visual K, but I like them. Darren Gray, actually, because, like, they're a band that I've liked throughout all their phases, but I saw them a few months ago, and I was, like, not happy. Like, they played their tours, their live sets are always more geared towards the newer stuff, but they haven't been to the US in a very long time, and so, like, they have a lot of songs that are, like, the classic songs, and they played none of them. They played the entire new album and, like, one like 2 old songs. One of them being Merciless Cult, which is a song that to me, like, when they played better sets full of more songs that I liked, was kind of like the low point of the set. But for this show, it was like a high point. Because it was like, oh, finally a song I fucking care about. Not a song that I almost care about. And then they played Saku, which I like. And then apparently they played a different old song every night of the tour. But I hate so much when bands, like, I get it, you know, like, you're tired of playing the same old songs and whatnot, but it's like, I didn't go to see you to see, like, mostly one fucking album that's kind of like, it's new-ish, and it's not as good, frankly, not as good as the old stuff. Like, I get, like, going in a heavier direction, there's bands that do that better. That's just what it is. But then there's other bands like Gazette, Nightmare, there's this band, Mannequin, that had like one really good song that I liked. D was really good. One of D's music videos was actually the first video of any kind that I ever watched on YouTube. Like, when I found out about YouTube, it was mostly people using it to host J-Rock videos. Nikolai Bridges. Does Justin keep any artifacts of his own? Whether that be cum artifacts or any other, but please do tell about cum artifacts if you have them. I mean, I guess the closest thing to artifacts would just be like stuff that's like old, that's like I guess like hoarder tendencies. I threw out a lot of stuff recently though. Yeah, it's gonna be better. This is another reason why my hair gets greasy. I can't stop touching it. There we go. Robbie Greene. Ever been to Ireland? I have not been to Ireland. I did go to the UK, go to like England. I think I was only in London for like 2 shows of my old band that both got cancelled, so I went there for no fucking reason and had to get in another fucking plane to Amsterdam. Scottius Maximus Meritus. How do you get your mustache to do the thing? You train it out. Like, you just kind of like, you got like some mustache wax, but you just gotta like, over time, it'll just kind of want to go in the direction you keep on putting it. It's a pain in the ass. Like, you can see early on in my channel, because I honestly, when I started the channel, I didn't have it for that long, and it would want to like be over my mouth all the fucking time, and it was mad annoying. Skander Youssef. How can I have such beautiful hair? Obviously, you keep touching it, you make it greasy. That's how you make it beautiful. Stratos Tsiavis. Bo, you bum gravy licker. He tagged someone else, but I didn't see who he tagged. Clarence Madarang Colina. How many times does Justiman Whang get mistaken for Stavia A-OK in a day? Honestly, probably, usually at least once. Maybe not mistaken for, but like someone will make the comment at least once a day. Saeed Muntazir Mahidi. The most embarrassing thing you jerked off to. The most embarrassing thing. I mean, I guess, like, technically, the most embarrassing thing is probably, like, thinking about people you know in real life, right? Because, like, if you think about it, like, you can look at, like, whatever videos, whatever pictures, but then it's, like, when you have, like, a real person playing a pretend role in your imagination, like, that's, like, the shit you don't want people to find out about. What do I think of Piss Bath? Tony Heinzel asks. I'm assuming you're talking about those people who, like, think, like, you know, you bathe in piss and it cures all your diseases. To which I say, obviously, they're fucking dumb as shit. It's evidence about how, like, you can convince bored middle-aged women of fucking anything. That's what all, like, the piss... Because it's mostly, like... that's like a mommy Facebook thing. Well, it's like all these like middle-aged moms with like the "can I speak to the manager" hair that believes like you can bathe in piss and drink your piss and you're gonna be healthy all of a sudden. That's what that's for. Will Parish, come to Brazil. See, I don't know if you're actually in Brazil or you're Aztec, because everyone fucking... That's like... It's either come to Brazil or come to Indonesia is one of the things. I would go to Brazil, though. Ed Sutton. Would you rather have uncomfortably long toes or be executed via lethal injection? I mean, I guess have long toes. Because I guess you can just, like, deal with having weird-ass toes. Kai Perez. Where's your Shiba? Post-pick. I don't have a Shiba. I would like to have one, but I do have an allergy to dogs. So I've always had, like, little-ass dogs, like Chihuahuas and wiener dogs. And even then, like, they can kind of, like, bother my allergies sometimes. A Shiba would fuck me up, though. What boards... Alexei Leontiev. What boards on 4chan do I like the most? I don't really browse 4chan that much anymore. Like, I feel like kind of the end of me, like, being on there all the time was around the Chanology days. And I kind of alluded to, like, kind of became this thing where it's like, people got kind of corny and they're like, oh, I'm gonna save the world and shit. And also, I appear to have lost the thread. Let me pull it back up. But back when I was on 4chan a lot, I used to like R9K. I would go on Fit. I would go on FA. Oh, actually, it brought me right back to where I was. Cool. I would go on V. Sometimes I would kind of like... I mean, sometimes there's like interesting things going on in like other threads that you wind up in, but I was honestly wasn't really on B that much back in the day. Like every once in a while, I would wind up on a thread that I thought was interesting on B, but most of the time it was just like actually browse B back in the day like sucked. Because it was just like, it was mostly just like, there was, the majority of stuff you would find on there would just be uninteresting crap. But then every once in a while there would be like that good post that went through, and they didn't have the catalog thing back in the day. So if you found an interesting thread and went away from it, you would have to keep on like going through the pages trying to find it again. The catalog feature that they have now is so... It's probably like the best like improvement they've ever had. I don't know when they introduced that feature though. Hell yeah, Zeus can't swim. Brazilian folk who discovered me because of Izzy. Charlotte de Cruyonera. I'm assuming that's a French name. When are you dropping that skincare routine? I feel like I gotta like up my skincare routine. I put on some like sunblock and like some lotion. That's about it. I've been trying to like grow out like a shitty beard. It grows in shitty, but like, you know, if you give it a few months, like the shitty parts might fill in, so I've been doing that. But then I started using beard oil on that because like when you let that happen, it dries your skin out and it gets itchy and shit. So that's like the closest thing to a skincare routine that I have. Also, she also asked, what are some video ideas that were dropped? Off the top of my head, the only one I can think of is the Jesse Slaughter video that I was talking about before. So I was looking into it and I was kind of like, there's like too many like things I don't want to get involved in here. There were a few that like I kind of think like they kind of either like the video would have went too much into doxing territory, or the story just didn't have as much to it that I thought. Like I did want to do a video about the Lost Hellraiser game, But that's one. There's just not really much to that story. It's just like the game existed and then it never got finished. There's not really much to it besides the title screen, I think. Let's see. Edgardo Gaston Valentin. Hey Whang, what would you do if you were a South American? I'd speak Spanish, possibly Portuguese, and like write ha 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 with a J. Elijah Reyes, what is the metric length of the longest turd you've ever shat? Don't pretend you don't know. See, I don't do metric, but I would guess like about a foot. If I had to guess, I don't know. I would have to like measure the diameter of my toilet to know for sure. Nice Jason. Pretty much like people like send me things through email or Instagram message sometimes. David Pinzon, Happy New Year? We'll find out. So it's at a baseline so far. I don't know if it's gonna be happy or not. Alright, that was the end of the questions before I announced that I was gonna do the stream today. There's a few more new ones. William Johnson, how's life treating you? I guess I can't complain. Isla Miller, why am I the way that I am? That's because that's how else would I be? Joe Hangle, Ene, can I suck your penis? I don't know what you look like. You look like SpongeBob, so no. George Orwell. The George Orwell. Ever think about getting that no beard look again? Looking good beats the... Definitely not. Like, I see pictures of myself that are like old pictures where I'm clean shaven, and I'm like, I don't like this. I can't look at this. It's upsetting. Desiree Urquides. Would you rather snort a line of fire ants or make sweet love to Eleanor Roosevelt? I don't remember what Eleanor Roosevelt looks like, but I'm sure I could deal with it. I mean, how bad could she be? Let's take a look at Eleanor Roosevelt. What does Eleanor Roosevelt look like? I remember her being like not one of the better looking first ladies. I mean, if you go back real far, alright, Eleanor Rose, yeah, Eleanor in her prime, like, I'm assuming prime, not like, cause like otherwise, like, how far you wanna, like, dig up a dead body or something, no, but, that's not bad. I can work with that. Winter Seed here today. Cygnus Prime, would I do a collab with John Trine? Yeah, of fucking course I would. What would Jesus Christ mean in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo? Chun-Li because she's thick, I don't know. Aaron McElroy. What is your favorite thing that's come from this group? Because there's been some real gems. Shit, there's like been a few things that popped up in the group that are like, that were like pretty funny things I wound up sharing to the page. I don't remember which fucking things are though. Like every once in a while I'll look through the group, and if I see something, I'll just wind up putting it through, putting it onto like the regular page. But I don't remember what specifically I used. And anyway, that's the end of the Facebook questions. I guess I'll stick around in here for a little bit. See what else you guys are up to. What up, Zeus Can't Swim? What up, Thrim? Maxwell. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Maxwell, but with like The 7s is upside down. L is high emp. Yeah. So, like, if, like, recently, I was in Monkey Jones's video about a movie he made, and he had me explain the I'm a big guy for you meme. But he had me do it as if I were Emperor Lemon. And, so like, cause Emperor Lemon's Asian, so I was like, you want me to give Emperor Lemon, like, a crazy Chinese accent? And he's just like, no, just like, dude, you can do it, like, talk normal, it's fine. Because I want to give Emperor Lemon the crazy Chinese accent. I can't even do the accent now. I would have enjoyed doing a crazy Chinese accent for Emperor Lemon, though. So. Moirin, any games I'm looking forward to this year? Is Cyberpunk 2077 coming out this year? Because I'm looking forward to that game. I can't think of any other games that are coming out this year that I'm excited about. That's pretty much it. And then, aside from that, the rest of the Halo games to be uploaded as a part of the Master Chief Collection for PC. Which, I've been wanting to stream that more. I honestly haven't been streaming that much the past few weeks because I just had this cough that was, like, making it hard to breathe. So I was like, I can't stream like this. It's not gonna work. Oh yeah, Resident Evil 3 as well. Definitely looking forward to that. Even though, I honestly, of the original Resident Evils, I like 3 the least. That one I only played it like once, I think. And then I fucked around with Mercenaries a bit. Fuzhou YT, Happy New Year, Justin. Hopefully the Jankum was as great as it was for me. You know, I honestly, I didn't do shit for New Year's. It kind of sucked, but I was invited to some party that was like all the way uptown in the city, and I was like, I don't want to make that trip. It's gonna be a pain in the fucking ass. So I didn't. RE Survivor, is that's that asymmetrical multiplayer thing that they have in there? It might be cool. At first I thought they were gonna make that a standalone game, but I guess there wasn't enough to make that standalone game off of. And the red thing back here, Audio Jihad, is a gigantic rubber chicken. See, I'd seen like a video of this on it. Thanks to the sub, Fujio YT. So I'd seen this on a TikTok video, and it's like the crazy shit, so I had to get one immediately. So like basically, like, you squeeze all the air out of it. Thanks for the sub, the amazing Fardo. Alright, you guys ready for this? Oh, I didn't even get it all out. It's gonna keep going too. Hell yeah. The thing that sucks is, like, you can't stop it once it starts. Cause I really just, I mostly am a fan of the big crazy scream it does when you squeeze it all the way. There you go. You gotta squeeze it just right to get the crazy scream. That's a good idea, Obsidian Zero. Leave it under the arm of a one-night stand and run. That's the thing, though. This is like one of those things, though. That's like, that's, if someone comes in here, that's 100% the first thing that they're going to like gravitate towards. Maxwell, bro, I haven't been on Twitch in so long, and this channel point thing is perfect for simps who want attention. See, I'm a dude though, I don't got simps. Don't work like that for us. I just pull my, like, half pulled out my fucking earbuds. Yeah, the channel points thing is kind of new, I think. I have, like, random stuff, like, strewn about here. I feel like I gotta get, like, a... I don't know, I gotta do something to the place. Or get a bigger place, I don't know. Something I was thinking about, actually, though, is, like, in that corner over there, that kind of, like, that bare corner in the back, maybe... I might get, like, a neon sign or something cool for back there. I don't know, I feel like that part needs something. Will I be uploading in 4K? Definitely not. There's no reason for me to upload in 4K, because it's, like, it's a video of me standing in my apartment, and it's like, most people are watching the video on their phone anyway, so it's like, even if it's in 4K, you're not, what are you getting out of that 4K resolution? What is the most disturbing topic? Like I said, I don't really find any topics, like, disturbing. I was just made uncomfortable when I had the haunted painting staring at me from my super high-res, super bright, ultra-wide monitor. Hey Whang, Monkey Brains Inc. asks, what is your dream pro wrestling video game? Mine would be a game where it's entirely unlicensed, and you'll be able to get things like equipment upgrades and get bonuses for being all natural or on steroids or whatever, and like a pro wrestling RPG but with an actual wrestling game engine behind. So it's like, it would be kind of like it's a wrestling game where you're kind of like playing the career of a wrestler as like they actually are, not in an in-character career mode. That would be pretty cool. I've been paying attention to this dude Gakdaw's deathmatch wrestling game he's been working on. I don't think he has a date planned for that though. It's just like, he'll put cool shit up sometimes. What was the worst video to edit? Like, everything just went wrong and took the longest for you. Honestly, I find videos where there's like a lot of text, those videos are like the most tedious ones to do, because then it's like a lot of like slicing things up in Photoshop, and then just kind of like, you know, having the I don't like the background to be too repetitive and whatnot, so I try to find like some stock footage I can kind of shift it around with it to mix the image up a bit. Which there's a lot of videos like that. Otherwise, I don't really do anything too crazy editing wise. It just winds up a lot of times like being like a long-ish process. Have I ever played Bomberman Hero? I haven't. Will I be switching to the iPhone or get a Note 10? I might get a Pixel actually. I don't know. It'll depend on like which has a better camera. I don't know. I wouldn't switch to iPhone because it seems like there's still like a lot of things I take for granted that you can't do on iPhones. Like, it seems like downloading files on iPhones, it's still kind of like an ass-backwards process, yeah? I don't know. Like, I edit video sometimes on my phone and shit. Like, if I want to, like a lot of those, like, quick, like, memes and shit that I do on Twitter, those are done on my phone. So I don't want to, like, get an iPhone and then not be able to do any of that shit. And I remember, like, the last iPhone I had was the iPhone 5, I think. And to do anything on that, you had to jailbreak it. Use the Earthbound music in the videos. Are you a Gatling Octopus fan of the game or just the music? I may have asked this already. Yeah, I like the game, and the music is very versatile. Oh, Fujiao White Sea. I forgot I did that. I do need to do that. The brown nose pup. When that Jordan Peterson AI was a thing, I made one of him doing the brown nose pup story. That was pretty good. Maybe I'll upload that one after I finish this stream. I forgot I had that one. Licensed Crown 97. Any thoughts on Jill Valentine's new remake appearance? I kind of hate that they changed her face. I thought Julia Voth's look was like the perfect look for Jill. There's no need to get someone new to be her. I don't like it. It's not that big of a deal, but it's like I feel like even though like they did that to you know, they changed Leon and Claire, I feel like, yeah, there have been a lot of Chris's too, but Jill, it's especially egregious for Jill because like she like has been more consistent than the other ones. So like all of a sudden change here. It's like why? Ada, yeah, I liked the new look they gave Ada. Chaotic Knight. From 1 to 3, Resident Evil or Silent Hill. I would definitely give that one to Resident Evil. Definitely 1 to 3. Which Leon do I like? I think the best Leon is Resident Evil 4 Leon. He, like the original Resident Evil 2, we had like, I mean, the characters just looked fucking weird in Resident Evil 2, the original. Then I think you have that one. Then I think you see him again in one of the Resident Evil 3 endings. There were a bunch of endings, but like that's like kind of like, it's not in game. It's like a still piece of art. And then you see Barrie again. And you see like people. You see like a bunch of them. But then RE4 Leon is peak Leon. Alright guys, I think this is where I'm gonna cut it off. The Maverick 316, best 16-bit RPG ever, Final Fantasy VI, 100%. Alright guys, let me see who's online right now.